Hey everybody, it's Bondalyn Jolly with Elevate in 365, and thanks for tuning in to today's casual conversation. I am connected with Shawn Connolly, who is the VP of Operations and Customer Experience at Elevate. Hey Shawn,
How's it going, Bondolin?
I am super awesome today. So you are in our Dallas offices in Texas today, though you normally reside in our Greensboro offices.
That's correct, and it's actually warmer in Greensboro than it is in Texas today, so 35
That's
degrees, freezing cold.
well, I like that you're bundled up and wearing your Elevate jacket. So I was just assuming that you did that, for the camera.
No, I'm trying to stay warm right now, so.
So, Shawn, I've been, excited for the opportunity to talk to you because you really oversee, you have your fingers on just the overarching pulse of what our customers experience, from everything from the sales process to, onboarding and fulfillment to their ongoing customer experience. And that's a really important role to have. And I'm also excited because you come out of Disney, who is one of the greatest companies for establishing customer experience. And I know that today you've got 4 keys that you're going to share with us that come from Disney. And then we're going to talk about how you've sort of applied those practices across what our customers inside of Elevate experience and how they service their end customers as well.
Yeah, so for those of you who are familiar with Disney, I'm sure everyone is since it's one of the biggest brands out there. It was an amazing experience when I came out of college. That was actually one of my first jobs was going to Florida, working at Disney. I'm actually from upstate New York, and going to Florida was completely outside the norm. So it was an awesome experience to learn what Disney had, learn their customer experience, or actually guest experience. So if you guys want to know in the hospitality industry, especially with Disney, everything is a guest. They're not clients, not customers. They are guests to the park and guests to the family. So just amazing learning their verbiage that they would use, guests versus clients. It's hard to do, but they essentially train you so well in terms of how to deliver a top of the line, above and beyond guest service experience that was so instrumental to who I am today and how I'm able to actually relate that now to our customer experience team, which is extremely important to not just myself here, but to the whole Elevate team going forward.
Well, and Shawn, creating a really exceptional and outstanding customer experience is key to our brokers and agents that are in our audience today. And so I'm sure that everybody will be very happy when you share, some
Yeah.
of your tips and tricks that they can apply to their day-to-day business practices.
So we'll start with the first key here. The first key that they would focus on, it's really just for personal safety. It's just being safe in the environment. It's being safe for the cast members or employees who worked at Disney, but it's also being safe for the guests and the customers who are coming into the parks. That ranges from arriving at the airport to getting their Disney transportation services to getting back to the resort to entering the parks. It's all about safety, and safety is their number one priority at Disney. And it should be everyone's number one priority because we have to take care of ourselves to be safe in order to lead a good and successful, healthy life. Their second piece here, you want to start?
Okay, wait. I want to go back to the safety for a second because obviously safety is a big issue for like agents when they're running open houses and things like that. But, when you say, from the moment they're picked up at the airport, to their transport, it's also creating this very safe and consistent experience, right? The second I know that I'm in the hands of my Disney experience, it's going to be, consistent. It's going to be outstanding. There's always going to be people there to service me. And that's really what we're trying to create, from the second we start working with a prospective buyer or seller, right? We want them to have a really outstanding, consistent experience. We want to build trust with them. And so I think there's other, words that could sort of replace that concept of safety or, expand that idea of what that means for us in real estate.
No, that's a great point. I mean, it's that consistently going from the bus to the hotel to the parks back to the hotel, talking to a guest show. Guest show, they call them the janitors. That's what most people call them, but they call them the guest show. Like everyone there is staying in character and playing a part. That I skipped over to my third key, so I'll come back to that piece in a second. But everyone is part of the show itself. Everyone from our sales team to our fulfillment team to our trainers or account managers to our support team, we all need to have a consistent experience. And my goal here is to ensure that from sales to customer service, that you are having a consistent experience with Elevate and understanding how to use the platform, what we're offering to you, and what tools should you use going forward. So I know that being a realtor, you guys are making that one-to-one connection. We want to make that one-to-one connection also with you, which is another piece where I feel like we're just trying to go that above and beyond for all of our clients here with Elevate.
Well, how many customers have we had, come to us that say, okay, I was using another piece of software when I, subscribed to it or purchased it, I was under, like the idea that it was going to do this, this is how it was sold to me, and then the reality is over here, right? I think every one of you in the audience has probably dealt with that at one time or another. I think it's important that, from staying in character concept is that, what our salespeople are presenting and what we're able to offer and fulfill and support is very consistent, so people know that this is what the experience is going to be like, regardless of what part of their Elevate experience they're having with us.
And what I'll share with you guys is, I was actually just on vacation last week at Disney World, actually, with my family, so my wife and 2 kids. And I'm sure everyone has been there somewhere with a 3-year-old. My kids are 3 and 1-year-old. I'm eating breakfast in the morning at a restaurant, and unfortunately, my son had an accident. So my first inclination was, oh, great, now I've got a son here, a child, a 3-year-old who just had an accident at the table. Well, my brain kicks in, knowing where I am, the consistency, is I'm at Disney World. I know the guest experience that they're delivering. Within minutes, one of their merchandise managers came up to me, had already a pair of shorts waiting for me to give to my son, and we just traded out without me even having to think through the whole system. So that's them thinking above and beyond. That's them knowing, seeing in action and having a guest recovery for it. So while I know that there's always going to be some type of question that our agents will have, there's always going to be something out there that we're here to solve for. That's why we have customer support. That's why we have trainers. That's why we have a whole support group in place. Is when there isn't a problem, when there is a question, is we will find an answer for you. And our goal here, and this is the 4th point, which is called efficiency, is making sure we're efficient by trying to find the solution for you. And if we can't find the solution, explain to you a different option to go with that solution. Always thinking ahead, always having that touch point out there so you can have that type of experience here with us, even in your daily lives. Like, you guys are real estate agents, realtors out there, brokers out there. Like, we need to be thinking a step ahead of our actual customers, a step ahead of our guests, a step ahead of our clients. That they might be looking for a house I'm in Dallas right now. I might be looking for a property up in Salina, but you may know, just based on their conversation with me, that I'm interested more in a property over in McKinney because that just fits more of the bill of what I'm describing to you. That's you as a realtor thinking ahead of not even what I'm thinking of. So that's what we needed, not need, but that's what we were striving for here with Elevate, is to provide that type of experience in terms of our account management team and our fulfillment team and customer service, is try to look ahead to see where we can help solve a problem that you might not even realize that there is a problem yet.
Okay, so let's see. So we had safety, we covered, which is also trusting, consistency, and all those other words. We talked about staying in character, right? Yep. And how that applies to real estate. We've talked about efficiency, and you've got one more point.
The last point, which is the 2nd point, is courtesy. That seems very simple to everybody. It's courteous. How are you courteous to your guests, to your clients, to your customers? I mean, that is where it starts with, is how we actually train over here, how our employees interact with our customers, how do you guys interact with your clients, making sure we're not just going in for the sale, not making sure we're just going in for a quick win, but how do we actually are courteous and develop that relationship and nurture that relationship and communicate to you that you're not just another number, you're a customer of ours, you're part of the family. It's our Elevate family that we're trying to create over here, and that's what we're striving to accomplish.
I love that it's people first focused. So many times you see these technology companies, and technology can be very overwhelming, when it's being implemented into a brokerage. A lot of real estate agents struggle with the technology side, right? They're amazing salespeople, but not, tech heads. And the fact that we put them first, that we come in and we create, a safe environment built on trust with our customers, that, we treat them with courteous and help provide tools and resources that they can use to be courteous and thoughtful to their customers, you know, that we have we put on the show for them, as Disney would say, but that regardless of who you're dealing with in our company, you're going to have a consistent, wonderful experience, and that we help streamline and create efficiencies. We try to think ahead and try to help you think ahead of how to better service your customer too. That's just fantastic. People first, Shawn.
It's always evolving. So what's working last year is changing this year, and it's always going to be different maybe 2 years from now. Not just here with Elevate, but Disney, they've changed their 4 keys. I can't remember how many times, but I looked at some history of what it used to be, what it became 4 years ago. And it's probably, if I look today, I went down through a whole new training piece. It would probably still have the core, but it's going to evolve into something new in this day and age. And this is my training from 10 years ago now. So always looking to evolve, always looking to be better, always looking to better ourselves. And that's what I would challenge all of everyone watching this video today, is challenge yourself, but to learn better, I'm trying to think of a Matt O'Neill thing. I watch all of his casual conversations. I know he's all into goal setting and challenging yourself to better yourself. So just strive to improve yourself and to improve going forward. You never be safe at who you are today.
Yeah, never settle, right? Always strive to be more.
I remember what it was. It was like, it's something, there's never something, there's never settle. So thank you, Bondolin.
Well, so I do not let my guests escape without, you know, sharing like a fun fact about themselves. So I'm just wondering, what is like a really like a fun fact or a crazy story or something back from your Disney days, since we're talking about Disney? Like, tell us something. Is there any Disney secrets you can share?
Well, if I shared it on here, I might get a letter in the mail saying cease and desist. So. Well, here's one Disney fun fact for those of you who've been there. So if you go in Walt Disney World itself, so there's Walt Disney World and there's Disneyland. Disneyland's out in California, which is the original one built. Disney World is the one built in Florida, which was a huge project that Walt and his team focused on before everyone knew about it. If you take the size of Disneyland, that includes their California Adventure, which is their second like adventure park out there, their downtown Disney area, and their Magic Kingdom per se, that whole just acreage would fit into the parking lot of the Magic Kingdom in Walt Disney World in Orlando. The parking lot of the Magic Kingdom would fit the whole property of California into it. So that's just a stat that someone explained that to me one day, because you look on the map and you can see the size difference. It is literally a world. Like Disneyland is a land, Disney World is a world. It's a mini city where you've got 4 parks, 3 golf courses, 2 water parks, a whole shopping center. It's a whole experience. Disneyland, smaller, it's petite. People love it though for its classic. Magic Kingdom and Walt Disney World is a beast. So that's the fun fact about Disney.
Disney is a monster, I tell you.
Yeah. I mean, you go on the cruise ships and all their overseas, but yeah, it's awesome. So it's a huge fact.
Thank you so much for sharing your insight today. I hope everybody enjoyed it and had some good takeaways. And if you want to create a Disney-like experience for your customers and for yourself in your real estate business, check us out at tryelevate.com. Come in, have a stellar experience with us, see what we're all about. We would love to chat with you. Shawn, thanks so much. We'll see you all next week. Bye.
Bye.